title of this video is "What is Time?" and your relationship to 2012. This is a very hard thing to explain, and also to see both from a physical standpoint with a three-dimensional mind, and also see in the spirit realm, in the spiritual realm as well. And like Jalila Starr, who made the remark, she said that oftentimes you get bits and pieces of this stuff, and you have to kind of like leave it on a table, and then something else comes along, and then you develop a story over that, and blah blah blah. Well, bless her. She's had a lot of interesting things she knows about. I can't say that I'm in the same league with her stuff, and but that's all right. I mean, I got a hard enough time trying to understand the stuff that I'm given. The way I've seen this, and I've looked at this in the spirit realm for a very long time, and if it changes, I'll make another tape and change my story. Now, there's another woman out there who has a similar understanding comparable to mine. Maybe she's got more detail, I guess. Her name is McKinnon from Australia. And how do I explain this? Let's take an example. There was a study, I forgot who did it. Took an embryo of a frog and shined light in it. Let's assume it was the codes of the genetic codes of a lizard, and shined it into this embryo of a frog, and changed that frog into or the embryo into a lizard, so that when it gave birth, it was a lizard instead of a frog. But notice it had to do with light. And she made an interesting remark in one of her tapes, or one of her writings. She said that as the light gets brighter coming from the sun, it will speed up our genetic transfer from a carbon being to a crystalline being. It always seems to be that this light thing affects the speeding up of time and that. So as I see this planet, it's spinning around, but its speed is starting to pick up. It's starting to pick up speed. Now, whether that's a physical thing I can ascertain, I'm not quite sure. But somehow it's a spherical or spherical type thing. When it speeds up and compresses, so that the same things that would say, for instance, like at one point I was given a prophecy about China that the Chinese would take over and and inhabit the world according to some, I guess, Revelations in the Book of Revelation, which is written by a different author, actually, the Humane Sybil of Tarkin, 550 BC. That the thing would transpire for 1,000 years, and what I saw was being sped up so fast that it already went down before the 50 some odd years that I was told would happen. And then it's compressing. My sources have told me that from 2012, let's say from the December to say 5 years forward, that the whole process here on Earth will be completed, and then the Earth will essentially, I guess, rotate the other way, or somehow go backwards in time. And now, here's an interesting thing. Casey mentioned that there were 5 or 8 different civilizations living on planet Earth. It could be that, from what I've seen, is that a good many people won't make this transition. I'm sorry to say. I mean, there may be people that are on the planet that think that they're going to make it, and that they think the physicality of the planet is going to shift, like Ken and Ken McGinnon, or whatever woman from Australia, and then also Jalila Starr. But my physics tells me that it isn't relying upon what you physically have as a planet, but who you are. And we're in a death zone here, a beginning zone, but also a death zone. We enhance the environment that we're in based on what we do, what we project it to happen. The outside physical reality is only serves as a launching pad for us to achieve whatever we want to achieve. Now, different than what I've been hearing from different groups, like what do you have, like whether it be Giada Starr or this Cannon woman from Australia, or David Wilcox, or possibly Joel Collier. When they always talk about, you know, the emotional clearing, forgiving the past, and moving forward. Well, my mechanics is almost the exact same thing from when I was from Supreme Entity. What he told me was, don't look past, look forward. Doesn't matter what you did right or wrong, keep going forward. And the one analogy I have for this is like, it's like picking out furniture for a new house. And the way to look at that is that you pick out the furniture, and you buy, let's say you buy one piece of furniture at a time, you bring it home, you get comfortable with it, and then you decide you want to keep that. And then what happens over a period of time, the bad furniture or the furniture you don't want to have, it automatically gets cleaned out of the house. And that's what I see about mechanics I was shown. Don't try to clean out the house completely with that. Don't leave yourself too empty, too much in a void with that. You know, keep things status quo. Keep moving forward. Now, ironically enough, this is somewhat mirrored in some of the statements in Genesis, and also comes out in the play by by Girder or Goethe. I can't remember pronounce this guy's name right, who wrote Faust. You know, the same statement was said to Mephistopheles. To Faust, it says, you know, as you keep going forward with that, you can have anything you want. The day you stop is the day you die, or the day you cease to go forward with that. Whether or not you die or you go to hell and all that stuff, that's comme si quoi. I mean, it's just a figure of speech. It doesn't mean it's actually going to go to hell, per se. And that's the other thing about these definitions of angels and theophonic images. All these things are basically us in different dimensions. The way to look at it is like it's like the lights that are in front of a car. You do time-lapse photography, and what do you see? You see streams of light. So that car is anywhere there in that picture or not. Same thing here. We're either dimensional beings that are from the future or from the past. It's hard to pinpoint time. Another thing I was shown was that this wave that was coming in from the super wave from the center of the universe was going to bring with it a measure of codes and changes for evolutionary change on this planet that would be comparable to the time that it took here to get here in third dimension. In other words, if in third dimension it took 23,000 or some odd light years to get here, then it's going to affect that much in terms of evolutionary change on the planet from that one burst of light. You know, so the question is, how do you regulate and how do you discover time? I mean, did the evolutionary process of a species happen in millions of years, or did it happen in a few hours, or did it happen over a 100-year period of time? How do you dissect the time and lay down a framework? Say this is it. This is the time period. What time are we in now? And then, irrespective of all the things and events that revolve around this subject matter of 2012 and whatnot, that should be neither here nor there for any of you who have contact in the spirit realm. You know. Another thing too is I want to bring up Lucia Renee in her thing about the dying of or the putting down or the setting aside of the male what you call it, the male energy that we're pressing in now. I see now, different from what I had said on the tapes, that the male energy did have to be around here for a period of, say, 13,000 years, and now the female energy is going to come back into play. But it'll come back into play and be both going on simultaneously, depending on who you are and what physicality of a planet is going to be around you that you're going to go into. So one may say that the Earth is going to separate from this Earth and go up. Another one says that the Earth is going to ascend and go into another dimension. That's true too. Or maybe all of the above simultaneously. It depends on how it's done. It's just like looking at an atomic bomb, like a bomb blast or an atomic bomb blast. In third dimension, you see the smoke going up and going every which way when not. But if you're in different dimensions when not, well, you may not see anything, or it may have never even heard a sound, or may only heard the sound but didn't see the image, or may see the image but not see the sound. I mean, I'm not talking this way to be confusing or not, but to show that there's different ways to look at it depending on what dimension you're in. The question will be, can 1 equal 2 and can 4 equal 7, depending on what dimension you're looking at. You know, depending on how you address it. If you're going to stick in your existing dimension, then what I just made is a crazy statement with that. But if you blend the two together, then you have something else. Just like this thing with this merging of the astral plane with the physical plane is going to happen here and go on for a period of about 5 years. When it's practically almost going on now. Anything can happen for anybody to have happen for them to expand. But I fear that because of religious teaching and background, it's going to make it so that people, even though they're going to be in a pool of shit, I mean of gold, as it were, a pool of shit if you want to say it that way, are going to be able to do anything they want, but yet in spite of their mind, that mind there is going to block them. That's their biggest problem, is their head. The head is the hardest thing known to man. And now my time is up. And please send your tax deductible donations to me at box 666.